you've done something that is big back east.
Yeah.
Chicago.
Yep.
And I don't have to tell you.
Yeah.
Because you're on the same Instagrams,
Yep.
and what you're doing here is phenomenal because it's bringing out a ton of people.
Yeah.
To play on Tuesday night.
I said, give me your slowest night.
Yeah.
Challenge myself.
Tuesday night, and you've got a great personality.
Yeah, thank you.
You've got outgoing personality.
Yeah.
You want people. I mean, we've only met one time.
Yeah.
But right now we're talking like we've known each other for
sure.
For years.
Yeah.
So I'm extremely happy and very grateful that I've met you.
Likewise.
That we're going to get on this podcast. We're gonna move forward and reach out to other people.
Yeah.
So today we're here at LAL Works, and this is the city of Hawthorne.
Correct.
I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, what we did was we took a time lapse. We took a time lapse photo of them setting up the courts.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to take them about an hour. I think it took them maybe 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So somewhere in the middle of this podcast, I'm gonna put the time lapse in.
Yep.
So people can see exactly what it's all about, and you can see over our shoulders. You see the courts. If you could tell everybody what exactly goes on here tonight at LAL Works in Hawthorne.
Got it. Yeah, tonight is actually our third season of Bocce League. We call it Beers and Bocce.
Okay.
And Beers and Bocce locations. But tonight specifically, it's our third season. We're up to 8 teams. Wow. We started with myself out here for 3 months training, and just me and my wife showing up, and nobody was on the court except the friend that you'll see setting up on the side. And we've grown to 8 teams, over 50 people on a Tuesday night at LAL Works. And these guys have been incredible here. Their community is amazing.
Now, is LAL Works the only place that you have these let's call it
the leagues. Correct. The league right now is only at LAL Works.
Okay.
I've been to different breweries. I've been up to Santa Barbara at Brass Bear. I've been to Boomtown.
Okay.
And there is what I started here. It's just going places to set up bocce, to build a community, to spend time. And I said, just give me 3 hours, let me just run bocce. Okay. Sometimes we don't get anybody, and it's just me and my wife playing, and I'm sitting there.
Yeah.
And other times we get groups. One of the times I was at Boomtown, and I had a group of, this was probably in, I want to say late August.
Okay.
A group of 10 guys came in, and I was just like, hey guys, come on over, it's perfect, you have 10 guys. They're like, we actually have a fantasy football draft, and we need a way to figure out how to do our top picks. And how do we do our picks? And I'm like, I got a tournament for you.
Okay.
So we ran a bocce tournament. The winner got the top pick, and then I found a way to get first, second, third, fourth, all the way to 10.
Okay.
And they played bocce for 3 hours. And it took the courts, everyone, I had friends that came in that day. No, it was that tournament for about 3 hours at Boomtown, and they had a blast. And the thing about bocce is if I see somebody that doesn't know how to play, somebody that may not be athletic, that comes in, they make a shot, and their hands go up, I was like, you're hooked. Yeah. As soon as I see that excitement, and somebody's like, I don't know if I see you do a shot and you fist pump or your hands go up and you've never played a sport or anything, I'm like, you're hooked in bocce. That's where I find passion, is leading groups like that I can find people to do that.
Right.
And get people to stay, that's for sure.
Now, we've kind of skipped way ahead. We've skipped way ahead to the league, which is great because, once again, I find it just great that you're doing this. But let's kind of move a little bit further back. How did you get into bocce, and how did you get to the point where you're now having leagues at a brewery in Los Angeles County?
Yeah.
Where did you start?
Wow. I moved out from Minnesota. I hear the story all the time. You play in your backyard with your dad. That's how I did Minnesota. Close behind trees and everything. Mm-hmm. Moved out here in 2012 without a job, place to live. Typical California story of moving out here. And I got a job at a country club in the Pacific Palisades. Okay. And that's where I first saw bocce courts that were on a court.
Okay.
And I said, what is this? I've only seen bocce play behind trees. Like, what is this on a court? This is amazing. I'm a basketball player, baseball. If I see a court, I want in.
Yeah.
And I had an AD at the time that wanted nothing to do with bocce. And so I was a camp counselor, and I was like, give me all the hours, I'll take it. I need money to live out in LA first off. And so I became a ref on the bocce leagues, and they had Wednesday and Thursday there.
at the country club.
At the country club.
Okay.
Yep. So I was there. That's how I learned about what bocce was. And fast forward, that's how I always say now I know way too much about bocce than one person should. And in our community, like I go into even talking to you like the first time I met you, I'm like, you're one of those guys that knows way too much about bocce than one person should. And I can tell that right away. I'm like, I'll talk to you for 5 hours for that. And so when I go around and see you, I'm like, oh, that's perfect. But it started because our courts got washed away. In LA, Los Angeles, the beach gets washed away, right, in February all the time. Courts got undermined. We had to get 2 new courts in because at the time we had 300 plus members that are in the bocce league, and they were like, "Okay, Brennan." Fast forward again, I became the athletic director at the club. So you need to find 2 courts, and you need to find them quick. And where can we put them? And so that's how I got to meet the bocce community that I know now. I went up to San Francisco, and I met Jessica from Marin County at San Rafael.
She was on the podcast.
Yeah, and to listen to that was awesome. And I saw her 10 courts, and that's where I got to meet Daniel Coglione. And befriended him. And so again, fast forward, we brought Daniel Coglione over from Italy. We put 2 courts there. But at the time when I was researching bocce courts, I was going down to San Diego, and I was in Little Italy. And I would just go up to bocce courts, and I'd say, "Hey, can I play?" And me and my wife would come down, and it'd be what we know of bocce right now is 60 plus, 70 plus. And they're like, "What is this? You're a 25, 20, 30-year-old guy wanting to play with us?" Yeah, let me play. I would love to play. Because I just want to talk to you, and I just want to learn what your life is, the community, and why are you on the bocce court, and it's all like that's what drew me to that. So, again, learning from San Diego, from San Francisco, from Italy, and then befriending Daniel when he came over here, and then taking a group of bocce players over to Italy to play on the professional surfaces over there.
Oh wow!
And so it just kind of snowballed, and I was like, COVID happened. And for everyone else, and like life changed. And so I said, let me leave the club, and what can I do? And so that's where Cassidy Athletics kind of started. I was doing different events when I was at the club. I was doing bocce fundraisers at schools for 200 plus people, and so I was doing a little bit of that. And I was like, how can I make this an actual business? Because this is my passion. This is what I love. Kind of went on to different Facebook groups and seeing who was doing it. The Bocce Bros are amazing. Like ABC was doing great things. And
now,
Alex was
I just want to stop you for 1 second. You mentioned the Bocce Bros. You mentioned ABC. Okay, and I know they're listening.
Yeah, for sure.
What time is it right now here in California?
We got
around
2:30?
2:30, 3 o'clock. What's in our sky?
Yeah, there's sun.
Sun.
For sure.
It's what?
It's just raining. It's beautiful.
It's a chilly. Yeah, it's a kind of a little bit of a chilly 65 degree.
Shorts, like it's nice.
Just kind of wanted to rub it in that we have this weather and you don't.
It's pretty snowy back there. It's cold. You're inside.
It's kind of miserable.
It's kind of bad. So it's like we could bring the people outside. We get to drink beers outside at night.
Exactly. So
I never know.
Come on out to a tournament. We're inviting you.
Check it out. Now's the time.
Yeah, look at it. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You get that seasonal depression. I lived in Minnesota. I got it. It hits in like February. We're here for you. We have Hawthorne here for you. We have Huntington here for you. Just come out.
Come on out.
Just call and come out. DM and come out.
No, Danny Catullo, if you're listening, this is the type of weather you're going to get here the first weekend of March in the 3-man tournament. Just from even the guys from Dallas. Anybody coming east of our state line, you're going to be getting great weather. So that was just my little...
It's going to be nice. I'm going to shout out to Long Island, too, and Mike Lisi's got to come out here for sure. I send him pictures all the time, just like I sent my family pictures. I'm like, I'm on the beach. And I send it to all my bocce buddies.
Exactly.
Say, come on out anytime.
Exactly. We try to tell them. We try to tell them. But sometimes you just have to come out. And you have to see. I needed to kind of just rub that in because of the weather we're having right now.
Nice.
And we'll go back to what we were talking about.
Exactly. Well, on that point, to be honest, we're in LA. It's super nice. To get people to come out to bocce on a consistent basis, it's hard because everyone's. If it's a nice day, they want to do something else.
Right, and that's exactly the other point I was going to make. Is our good weather sometimes is our downfall.
It is.
Because we don't have the clubs that they do back east, like what ABC has, the Ohio area with their indoor club and their actual clubs, where they looks like they serve food, looks like they have drinks, and it's more of a social atmosphere with very, very good bocce play. I think our downfall out here is our weather because we don't have those indoor clubs. So
Even if we did, they wouldn't want to go inside to play. You come to like we just talked about. You come to Los Angeles to be outside.
Right.
That's why I moved from Minnesota. Outdoor recreation, 24/7, 365.
That is correct. So let me ask you this question: since you're kind of more on the forefront and bringing this game to more of the younger generation, like your generation.
Yeah.
How does the Southern California community get over this hump to get a younger generation out there? Because and we were talking to you just a while ago about this. When we started the club, we had a good number of people. I think our membership was about 80, 90-ish. After COVID, it dropped to 40, and right now we're kind of down to 20. And not because people aren't interested, it's people are getting older. That it's not as easy for them to get out there. So I think you're the expert to ask. What do we do? What do we do?
So I've reached out. I've thought about this for a while and tried to figure out how do we make that happen. I've reached out to Bumble BFF, and because of my history is like running events and fundraisers, and that's where like the events coordinator in me will bring that out and say, how do I go to schools, and I say, do you need a fundraiser that's actually fun and exciting besides a poker game? It's like, here's a bocce, and this one we just ran, we put 5 courts out, around 300 people, and it was Saturday afternoon from 2 to 5. And so you hit younger families that way. So you're hitting like the 40 to 60 year olds. So you're starting high and working your way back. The younger people generation, so how I met people in California was going to play basketball on a court. Just a Saturday morning, pick up basketball. Would go out there 3 months, and I said, hey, do you guys go out? Like, I see we're all coming here on Saturday with groggy eyes. Like, let's do it together. Let's go out together. So then you form friendships around a particular sport that you're passionate about. Bocce is that where it's not basketball, because basketball is still a workout. I'll take it as simple as even pickleball. Pickleball is what I see bocce happening in the next 5 years. And so how did pickleball do that? They said whenever they brought groups of friends out to say, hey, invite 3 more friends. They don't have to know pickleball. Just invite them out. We're going to share our paddle and come out and learn the game. And that's how pickleball grew. It's if I see people walking on the side of the street, here's my paddle, come out and play. Whereas a dying sport, just to put this out there, was paddle tennis. And it's not dying, but it's not pickleball where it took off.
Yeah, and it never really made it big out here.
Yeah, and it said, no, you're not good enough. You're not on my level. So this is our game, and you can have the court after. And that's what bocce was. When I even listen to history of bocce, that's the older generation is, get off our court. This is our court. You guys can play afterwards. If I was the young people coming in. So we need to change the narrative of, no, it's for everyone. It's a community game. And so, and I was talking to you a little bit earlier too, it's about rules are there, but they're a guideline. And so that's, get people on the court first. And if they want to do backwall, if anything, who cares? You'll teach them the main rules. We can get to that point later of how we grow it, but just get them on the court and say, here's a ball. And even if you are a Serie A, if you're a top of the player, like yourself, and I have somebody that comes in doesn't know the game, you bring your game down to their level a little bit to then teach them, to say, here's what it is. Don't just go, it's not golf, it's not paddle tennis, where you just go dominate them and say, I won, now get off my court. It's, hey, here's a couple other options that you could have shot there. Take whatever you're comfortable with. And so it's training them. And so it's saying, now, if I'm younger and I don't know what I'm learning now. So now I'm coming out, I can bring my friend, because there's people that know the game, and they're like, no, they'll just teach you. Like, even though they're really good, they're going to teach you, and they're going to have fun with you. And so it's taking that social atmosphere. Now that's why I went to Bumble BFF, and even these dating apps, and saying, here's something social that you can be 20-year-old, 30-year-old, 40. There's 90-year-olds that play with 20-year-olds. But you don't have to be athletic. You can be super athletic, and they come together, and you're talking about a community. You're talking about special interests that you have with bocce on the side. So it's that sex appeal of, hey, just come together and dress up like you're going on a Friday night. And we're gonna play bocce on the side. And I run these events where you maybe roll 4 times, but you're here for an hour and you're talking to people. And bocce's on the side. So that's how you start it. You get people out here, you get people interested. You don't just say, here's a tournament, come play, and stick around for 12 hours. It's come play. It's so much little about bocce and more about community, friendships, meeting other teammates, meeting other people, and running these little cocktail, I call them bocce soirees. And so that's kind of how I started. And I did that for 3 months here. And some people came out, some didn't. And you just run a soiree, bocce on the side, and then hopefully you trickle down and you get like 3 or 4 people that are really interested. And you say, perfect, I'm going to start a league. I just need 4 teams, but I need 4 people, because you need people to lead the team. You don't want to lead the team. You want to find those people that are really interested in it.
You want to be the commissioner.
Yeah. And you say, you do this, because then now you're going to be like, oh, I got something to do on a Tuesday night. Like, come on out.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how you start it, is on the social, and that's where I've always been, is on the social side, and just building a community. And that's how I think younger generations will come out and do that. And then you do it at breweries, which is great, because I just had my first kid, and breweries are like, bring kids, please. Yeah. It's that European vibe of bring your family. It's not weird that you're bringing your kid around.
Right.
And so I think breweries were that perfect marriage of like, here's bocce, here's brewery, and then let's find a place that has turf, that's low cost, that will help you out, that's helped me out. LA Aleworks has been incredible, and they have a community here, and they put a team in the league. So they're like, we're involved. Like, we want it, we're in it to win. So that's kind of how I see these younger generations coming out.
Now, just to kind of throw it out, because we're trying to mimic what you're doing, but not at your scale.
Yeah.
We're trying to crawl before we even walk. But the guy who is allowing us to come in and put in a mobile bocce court is down in Costa Mesa, Brewers Reserve of California. The owner there, Brian, just a great guy. Him and his bartenders came up with a great idea.
Yeah.
And I'm going to, since you're the event guy,
yeah,
challenging other breweries.
That's the goal.
to play bocce. Not like just put in like teams from, I mean, the other
like
breweries.
The brewers.
Brewers. And
they'll have a heads up here, but that's fine.
Right, but I agree.
But I agree.
But once again, it introduces people. So
yeah.
Here I know you have here LA Aleworks, and you have one across the street from here, the Common Space. Down in Costa Mesa, where Brewers Reserve of California is, they're on College Avenue. Then just maybe a mile east is Randolph, where there's 4 breweries.
Yeah.
To bring 1, 2, 3, 6 breweries together, do you think that would kind of push forward more people wanting to play the game?
Because you just want to spread the word. That's what it's all about. And my goal when I started this, and that's why I was going up to Santa Barbara, I was going to Brass Bear. I was finding the right people, because I went to some breweries, and the craft breweries are awesome because they're individually owned. They have ownership that's down to back them. And usually I find the nicest people, and they're out there too in the non-craft breweries, don't get me wrong. And I was like, all right, let me go to Brass Bear in Santa Barbara, and then I'm going to run these. I have my fundraiser Bocce Soiree type of tournament it always seems to work, and I'm like, I'm going to do it here. I'm going to go to Boomtown and start here in downtown. I'm going to go to Hawthorne, Santa Monica Brewworks, Malibu Brewworks. Like, I talked to all of it, and I'm still in communication with them.
Good.
I said, I got to slow down a little bit, and I got to find one that works. Let me, somebody's like, craft something that you're really good at, and stick with that. Find the solution that works, and then go elsewhere.
Okay.
And so I'm finding that here, and it's been amazing, and it's working. The goal is to then say, whether you want it to be, and I think breweries is to start. Give me people, your workers, and say, let me come here. Here's a great way to teach people how to play bocce, so then they can talk about it when you're not around. So that's how you're going to grow it. Yeah. And that way you can say, all right, well, let's come together. Communities here. You got a community of brewers that all do the same thing, have the same passion, and now they can go spread around, and the word can spread by itself. But my goal is to get LA Aleworks champion of you want to do 3 seasons, spring, summer, fall, and then you mix in the winter for those enthusiasts. Mm-hmm. Right now I'm doing a winter because it's 75 and sunny. Why wouldn't I do a winter league out here? For sure. But no, you get those like 10-week long seasons. You find the spring, summer, fall. You get the champion of LA Aleworks, and you get and then you have 5 other breweries that are doing the same thing. That even if they have, all you need is 4 teams. Just get 4 teams and get a champion. Yeah. And now they're traveling to different breweries, because that's what I used to do I learned the San Francisco suburban area, like Black Hawk Country Club and different country clubs up there, they have the same thing. They do their champions, and it's like a touring event where the winner of that. I was like, I want to do that down here. And then just say, have a touring, you don't have to show up, but you have first option of saying, here's your champion. If you start that, starting small with here, we got 8 teams. You start down in Costa Mesa and you get 4 teams. Now we get people together and they do a champion of just one game, and they're bringing 8 people together. Now they get that feel of, okay, this is what it's like to travel and play bocce traveling. Yeah. Where else is this? Now I'm addicted. Now I'm going to the USA Bocce Federation. I'm going to Bocce Bros website. Yeah. Can I go to Vegas? Like, oh, there's Vegas. But you have to start within, and especially in Los Angeles, it's such a hard community to grow something that's consistent, just because there's so many different options to do and traffic and all this. But you start within, and I think it's going to be a slow race to get there.
Okay.
But that's my vision, is in 3 to 5 years we can get there where now it's, I don't want to just say, hey, everyone go to Vegas. It's an amazing tournament.
Right.
Let's start a community first. Let's play breweries versus breweries.
Okay.
Then you get those, just like you would for if you're starting a league and you can find your captain, then you find your teams that want to travel.
Okay.
Now you find that community, and then you connect it with the U.S. And then you can go global after that. We can talk for hours about that.
Exactly.
But I feel like that's what I found that works, is you find something that people are passionate about.
Now, a question that we have for the Southern California Bocce Association, that's the 9 clubs that play, like, Jackson plays and all that. How do we get, because, let me kind of back up a little bit. We've always only let it open to members of a Southern California Bocce Association club.
Yep.
But because of the low numbers, I'm thinking of kind of maybe thinking outside the box and just opening it up to teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not me. I have to ask, for all the other presidents whether or not that's a good idea.
Yeah.
How do we get, because I saw some of the guys down here the other time, very, very good.
They are. They had never played bocce before.
Very good, and I think to go from this to that is just, I mean, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Not to say that they stop doing this, because this is a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, no, but you want to, again, find those people that are going to they want to do more than Tuesdays. Where else do I play?
Right.
And even if it's one of the teams out of 8, that's a win.
Right.
We get one team that goes and plays. Obviously, you want 8 out of 8. Like, let's aim high and get that, but let's start somewhere first.
Yeah.
Now they go play there, and they come back and like, oh, we're in 3 leagues now, and so now, and this is just the beginner league, which is completely fine. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
And this is where I want community to happen, to then go find the real courts. Like I always tell people, this is just carnival bocce right here. But you're learning how to play, and then go step up on real courts. And there's so many different levels. Just like there's different levels of shots, there's different level of bocce.
Oh yeah.
But I think you start it like with that pickleball mentality of, again, I used to play travel softball. So there's majors, there's AAA, there's like, what are you A, are you B? Do you have your B card? Do you have your C card?
Right.
And it's going to be really hard, I would imagine, for teams that are already in those 9 clubs that say, well, are they good enough to play with us? Well, if you want to try to grow it, you have to just take that risk and say, come. You may destroy them, and they may never want to come back.
Yeah.
Or they may destroy you, and you may want to quit bocce after playing 60. No, but that's how you start with the community. And I think that's how you do it. It's just like, all right, let's kind of bend the rules. Again, rules, I always talk about our guidelines in bocce. There's got to be rules for sure. And you're going to big money tournaments, there's still rules, but I want to play against your team, and if there's a rule discrepancy, I'm going to say it's yours. Take the point, and not let me measure that 5 times before.
Right, exactly.
And so you have that going down to say, give me one of these teams. Debauchery is one of the teams in our league that I would say that would be like chomping at the bit to go play with you guys.
Okay.
And they may come in and not play this. They may not know the rules, but it's saying it's okay. Here's my paddle. Come play.
Yeah.
And look at what pickleball did. It's grown immensely. That's what bocce's going to do if we have that right mentality of this is a community. Come play with us. Yeah. And so I think that's where I want to be. That's where I want to get to, and that's where I would suggest going. It's hard because I've been on the opposite side. It's like I play soft. Don't come in, but it's not softball. Like I'm not going to hurt you. Like it's bocce, and you could get hurt on a bocce court for sure if throwing. But it's more about community having fun. And maybe it's not a sanctioned tournament. Maybe it's just a Saturday tournament that you're going to invite clubs, but then it's that select where you're knowing that they've played bocce before.
Right.
And then even scale it back and say, we're open it to anybody. So different ways to think about doing that. And I've run thousands of these tournaments with my country club and all over. So I have all these ideas. I've been doing it since 2012. So I have these different ideas. But again, I wanted to scale back and just say, here's a community. Let's start it.
Let's take one thing and make it the best that you can, instead of just kind of spreading yourself thin.
Yeah.
And because when I was down here with 2 of the guys that I play with,
they played in our tournament.
Yeah, that's right. I thought about that.
Yeah.
I would. You know what? I would actually love to put a team in from the Southern California Bocce Association to come down here.
Yeah.
The biggest problem is getting people to come from Orange County.
Yeah, every Tuesday.
At
4 o'clock or 6 o'clock in traffic.
Yeah,
it's hard.
But it's just one of those things where, in order for us, like we've been speaking here for a while, in order for us to get people to come down, we need to go.
Yeah. Yeah, to go meet people.
Yeah, we just can't sit there.
Yeah, come out and play and sub or do whatever you need to do.
Right.
I met Mike Lisi in Vegas, and I've been trying to get out. That was 2 years ago, I think, and I've been trying. That was last year, and I've been trying to get out to Long Island ever since.
Yeah.
And so just because you just go out and meet somebody, and you're like,
Right.
it's in their head. That's how you grow bocce, and then you're just like, oh, nice, that's great. Like, how do I make that happen? Really hard in LA.
Yeah.
But I think there's a way to do it. So
Now, are you putting a team in Vegas? Are you even going to go to Vegas?
I'm first on the wait list, so I'm going. Yeah, I missed the sign up. A little bit bummed about that. I reached out to Guy and I was like, Guy, help me out, hook me up. And he's like, no, we don't do that. I was like, that's fine, just put me on the wait list.
Yeah.
I'm first on the wait list, and I might bring some people out from here. And it's fun. I was there last year just watching it. Kind of again, I just went. I didn't have a team, just went. I met Alex. I met the Bocce Bros. I met Brad, who's out there, that Cleveland Bocce.
Right. Yeah.
And so that is a goal of mine to get to Vegas for sure. With the kid, it's a little harder.
Of course.
But we always have families, and I'm like, nah, come with.
Yeah, you know what? It would be really great if you guys could get a team for our tournament in March.
Yeah, in March. Yeah. I'm already recruiting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, right now we have 4 spots open. We have 1 team on the waiting list because we can only take an even amount because of the way the tournament is run. We have a team from Dallas. I don't know if you know who Big E is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, I met him one time at and it's like, how do I get to Dallas?
Yeah, he's coming with 2 other guys from the Ohio area.
That's awesome.
We got a team from Portland coming, team from Northern California coming. There's the number of different teams that are coming here from Southern California. And really what that is just, it's kind of a social event, put on a tournament to get ready for the
real one,
the Vegas one.
Yeah,
because Vegas it's a different animal.
For sure,
it's a
81 teams, and the guys run it amazingly. Right. It's unbelievable.
But you want to talk about a carnival game.
Yeah,
there is nothing level about that place.
But 2 teams are playing it; it's the equal game.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I was like, you see the bocce talent there, and I went there, and I'm like, I can see the bocce talent if I put them on their surface, and it's through the roof.
Yeah,
but it's fun because it's like, oh, this is talk about community, because then you can't get angry at your game because it's the court.
Exactly.
But you're playing the same court I am.
Exactly.
And you're seeing the same way. It's kind of these
the
courts out
first
here.
team to adjust.
Yeah.